So I called Boniface's name and they say he's not hating, it's a Prado. And so I would sneak in the night and see a bit. So I saw the number plate was STM. I kept wondering, okay, have they taken me to southern Tanzania? That would be even further from home. Why are they taking me here? But later I learned that those are government cards.
Okay.
Serikali ya Tanzania or something like that. Yeah, so they now take me to another detention place. They usher me into like an office space, but there's a bedroom. There's a small mattress. They put me on that mattress. They say sleep. It was so cold. I was freezing. And there was nothing to cover, but there was a small mattress at least. One of the torturers from the car came back after like 3 minutes after they had put me in that room and gave me a sweater. It was very smelly, but it was warm. And at that moment, you don't care about how it smells or whatever.
You just want to be.
So I wear it, and the only place I was feeling cold was in my feet, but I managed to sleep off. Remember that the previous night I hadn't slept.
Yes.
I managed to sleep. And I stayed enjoying that sleep on that small mattress, and that woman comes, I think it's 6 a.m., and orders me to get up and go and bathe. And I'm thinking they want me to bathe and take me home. By this time, you're very sure you're not going home by air because you are far from Tanzania. Because that time we must have driven for 15 hours.
Right.
Or so. Yeah, so I get up and they take me to that another bathroom, also dingy and dirty, and it looks exactly like the bathroom in the other torture place. And there's the same bucket, the same jug in the bucket, so you could tell that it's a branch of the other. Yeah, so there was no soap. So there was no bathing really. I just wash off and she had brought my bag. They would never give me my bag. She would keep holding it and open it for me to get clothes, and she would keep it. Yeah, so I come back and she puts me back on the mattress and blindfolds me again. No, of course she blindfolds you as soon as you get out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
You don't get out. She blindfolds you before you get out. But when you're done. Yeah, so she put me back there, and now the strategy I say I will do. By this time, they had started giving me painkillers, like the previous night on the road. So I could tell that they are now very interested in the shape we will come out in. So even that morning when she brings me back, she asks me if I'm going to take my painkillers now or if I'm going to wait for breakfast. I tell her I'm going to take them now. So I was interested in taking painkillers and exercising the feet so that they see I can walk and let me go. It had become clear that's the reason they were not letting me go.
Or they needed you to be normal.
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
you
because you
can be
couldn't walk.
in some shape to walk out
Yeah,
and pretend nothing happened to you.
yeah, so that they are not seen to have tortured us or done anything to us.
Right.
So yeah, they are giving me painkillers and those ones I take them, but now I decide to refuse to eat anything.
Yeah.
Go on hunger strike. So if they are worried about how you will get out to the world looking like, they will be worried if you are not eating.
Yes.
So around maybe 8, this woman brings me food. I think breakfast, and says, breakfast is here. And I tell her I don't want it. She said, it's not an option. And I'm thinking, let me see how you will force me. So she goes. She didn't have any patience. She was so cruel and whatever. So I think in her head she says, what do I care? And she leaves. So now, but at this moment, I thought the only person I thought we had come with and had stayed was that woman. Because that woman, remember, for her, I see her face when she takes me to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I know her accent because she talks to me more often than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's the one I know there, and I am thinking that others couldn't be those ones because the car had driven back that night. So I thought they have left me with new people here. Now, a guy comes and calls me and says, Agatha, how they was. Get up and let's see if your feet can move. He helps me to get up and he's holding my hand and telling me to step. He's gentle, telling me to step. And this is not a rough surface because this was tiled now. So I am stepping a bit, and another guy comes and tells him to take off my blindfold. So they take off my blindfold, and the first person I see is a light-skinned guy, the guy that had come to help me move a bit. And I'm thinking, but can it be the other guy?
The one who had,
It was at night. The other guy that I told you who tortured me the
yes.
most. Yeah, but I think maybe it's my mind playing games on me. I didn't think they were the same people, but I later learned they were actually. So, but now this guy is pretending to not know English. But when he was torturing us and telling me what to say and asking questions, he was speaking English in the way that most Tanzanians do, but speaking it. So now I see a new guy, the guy who came and said they take off my blindfold. So later it's that new guy who comes back and pleads with me to eat and reassures me that I am safe, that I should forget whatever they did to me because now I am safe. The reason he's there is to make sure I am safe. I tell him I'm not eating anything. If you know I'm going back home, you don't worry, I'll eat when I get home.
Yeah.
Hunger can't kill me in one day. Said no, it won't be today because we have to get your passport from Dar.
Okay.
And so he convinces me, and I think, well, I need my passport. And if it is in Dar, I know that it can't arrive here today. This is Wednesday now.
In the night.
So, no, it's in the morning of Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 9, 10 a.m. So he also says that he says, let me show you something. The people that tortured you didn't know that did this to you didn't know you are a popular person. Now everyone is looking for you.
Yeah.
He gets his phone and shows me pictures of demonstrations in Kenya, shows me the Tanganyika Law Society president addressing the press about us and whatever. Says, yes, everyone is looking for you. So they'll have to let you go and go home. So me, I was sent here to make sure you're fine. I said, so where were you coming from? He says that he works in that area. And I said, but what is this area? And he says, you mean they didn't tell you? I said, no, but he still didn't tell me. So now he pleads with me, we like strike a deal, and I accept to drink the milk they had brought. Now this was milk. Yeah, so I spent another day there in that room on that small mattress, blindfolded. And so at this time, I am very sure they will not probably kill me. They would have already done that.
Yes.
Now I start to worry about people here. I was so worried about my family and what they must be going through.
Yes.
I know my mother. A small thing on her child, we always joke that she can be so dramatic. So now this is big. This is big. She doesn't know where you are. She's hypertensive. I thought my mother will die, but I thought, I hope they can censor the information since she lives in the village and it doesn't get to her, at least all of it. My children, I thought if my sister knows them as well as I do, and which she does, she will allow them be on a PlayStation all day. That will distract them and they won't worry. Then I was thinking about my sister, and I thought that one must be spending the whole day crying. And I wasn't. I was. It was true. But in that crying, she had called everyone that you can call. Among them, the ambassador to Tanzania, who was extremely helpful, extremely in ways that shocked me. Yeah. So anyway, I beg this guy to give me a phone to call my sister. I think
Mm,
my sister's number is the only number I had in my head.
mm,
And the guy lies to me that he will give it to me. Then later says, "But you know these things, security. Now, if they find that I've done this," and I thought he's right anyway. So I just sit there. Now night comes, and thankfully I fall asleep early.
mm,
So I fall asleep. Next morning is Thursday. I am still woken up at 6 a.m. to go and bathe. No, but by this time, this guy who is being nice had
mm.
asked me what I need to be comfortable.
Okay.
I said, "Yeah, well, tell me, I'm here to make sure you're comfortable, to make sure you go back to your family." And I said, "Okay, please buy me a toothbrush and soap. I
Okay.
can't bathe without soap. That's not bathing."
Mm,
He does. And I told him, I even ran out of clothes to change in. He came and they brought me clothes. They looked like either second hand or he must have brought me his, I don't know, like, and soap. So now Thursday morning is the first time from Monday morning that I'm having a
a
proper
proper
shower.
bath. Mm,
Yeah, washing my hair. It had been rolling in that dust in the torture chamber and whatever. So I think I spent like, now I didn't care about the filth in that bathroom. I just said I have to really wash my body. So I come back and the woman still asks me if she should give me. They were overdosing me on painkillers. I later saw the paper of painkillers had 1 times 2 written on it, but they were giving them to me like 4 times a day.
mm, mm,
They
mm.
had worked on the pain. The feet, I could now step. I could now try to push the foot in the shoe much, much better, but still not properly. I would still step on the shoe behind. Yeah, but I would pretend when I'm like going to the bathroom that I can walk with less difficulty, so that they let me go. Have you ever seen a child who pretends they didn't break their arm so that they don't bring someone to squeeze it?
Yeah.
That's how I was. So I would keep pretending to be okay. Yeah, so Thursday the chick brings me breakfast. I refuse it, and
Mm,
she leaves. But she would call that guy and say, "Ah, your person has refused to eat."
mm,
And that guy would come and beg me, but this time I refused. On Thursday I refused, and he said, "Your passport will get here today, and the rest of your things, because I'm told they have you left behind your phone and whatever." Yeah, I said, "Okay, if my passport is getting here today and we move, you don't have to worry. I'll eat when I get home."
yeah.
At some point, that guy brought oil and massaged my feet. They were still
Really?
swollen. Yeah, yeah, all that was happening, and I later,
Really? It's bizarre,
I,
you know?
but I later realized they had sent him to get information out of me about what I'm going to do if I'm going to go after them. So by this time, they have realized I'm not really an ordinary person.
Wow.
He came already telling me, "You are a lawyer, you will know what to do. You can, but now, for now, preserve your energy, eat so that you go back to your family when you have some energy. You can
So he was
take
trying to
whatever."
be he was trying to be the nice guy, trying
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. And I am sure he went and told those guys that I've said I will actually sue their asses,
mm,
because that I will make noise about it.
mm,
Because now Saturday, no, Thursday, that day afternoon comes, I still refuse to eat lunch. Around 3 p.m. or 4, that car comes. I know its sound and I know it's the one. And the guy comes and says, "Okay, now eat some of this, eat some food and we go. If you don't eat, we won't take you. So now the car is here, your passport is here, I have it," but he doesn't show it to me.
yeah.
So now, yeah, he had brought, I think, uh, a stick of either nyamachoma or something. So I eat some, and
But
now
did you know what animal you were eating?
I didn't know you have to eat. Yeah, so, but also, like, you're thinking now, I don't think they would poison me or something. But he would even come and say, "Let's eat together," so that he convinces me to eat.
Mm,
Yeah, so now he leaves, and a woman comes and says, "Now we are taking you home to your children.
hmm
But let me first talk to you." And she says, what happens in Tanzania stays in Tanzania. You cannot say anything about it. If you say anything about it, you will see what will happen. We have your videos, we have your what, and in my mind, I'm thinking, but you have
It can't
videos
get
that
any
prove your
worse.
prove your criminality. Like,
Yeah.
how are you thinking I'm the one who should be worried about those videos? But well, those are the victims they have been used to. I later learned that Tanzania sexual violence, especially from Zanzibar, which everyone thinks the president coming from Zanzibar has, spread to the entire country, is the first thing they do. And it's not discriminative. They don't do it only on women because they did exactly what I'm telling you to Boniface. So I tell her, you know what? If you're taking me home, please take me home. She said, Mom, I'm telling you, you have to keep quiet. You'll be thankful that we are taking you back to your family. Yeah, so now we sit in the car again. I think now it's like 5 p.m. I could tell from the rays of the setting sun around there. So we drive. The journey is also very long. And me, by this time, I thought we were like at the border. And I thought they would drive me home, like bring me to Kampala. But I kept wondering, but how are they going to take me to Kampala? Will they dump me at a police station, with a hospital, their embassy? How will that go? But anyway, I didn't think a lot about that. So I'm still blindfolded. It gets dark. We drive and drive and drive and drive and yeah. So we reach. No, I didn't tell you that guy who lied to me that he's not from Dar, the one who was being nice. When I'm leaving, he comes and says, oh, bye, my friend. I wish you all the best. I hope you get home safely. But after I see it, most of the guys first stay outside and they eventually come into the car before we set off. And he's the guy that sits next to me. And he's obviously the guy that was seated next to me from Dar. Because now he sits next to me and I smell familiar perfume because he had been sitting on that small mattress with me. And then I move my blindfold without them noticing and I see the clothes he was wearing and whatever. I see the bag where he kept picking his phone from and its ringtone. So now I know that he's the one, but I just keep quiet and we move.
So
So
there is, before we go further, I mean, there's a question, and I think it's an important question: is how, if you don't mind describing for us, how helpful was the ambassador? I'm assuming this is Uganda's High Commissioner to Tanzania. Gather, you're muted.
oh yeah, sorry. Now, of course, me, I didn't know who is helpful and in what way until
Yeah.
I arrived. So I
Okay.
will now finish for you the story
Okay.
of
All
how
right.
I
So okay,
arrived.
fine. So now, okay. Oh, okay. Fine.
So
Okay.
now we reach somewhere. It's the middle of the night, the dead of the night, and the guy seated on my right, that guy moves out, and the car stops. The guy moves out, and the woman sounds her warning again and says, Agatha, what I've told you, don't say anything. I said, aren't you tired of threatening me already? I said, I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you that what will happen if you say something, you will see. So, so the light skinned guy now also talks to me as he's giving me my bag and says, Agatha, you can't say anything. Just go to your children, keep quiet, never come back to Tanzania. You have no business there. Don't say anything. I say, okay. The driver in front hands me my passport. All along it was in his custody. So they say, come out. They remove my blindfold and they say, come out, you are home. Okay. I come out. It's the middle of nowhere. It's a bush. I don't see anywhere I know. I said, what do you mean I'm home? Where is this place? And this is the first time you're seeing after 4 days.
The first time you're seeing
Um
land of any kind,
yeah, yeah.
you don't know what time
So
it is.
I don't know what time it is. I don't know where I am. I don't know how to get from there. So the woman says, "You're home. This is Uganda. Uganda is there. Mutukula border is there." She's pointing somewhere. You don't see even a light coming from there. Like, it is still far because you can't see anything in sight. So I
Wow.
said, "But how am I supposed to get home? I don't have money. I don't have a phone." And I think she says something like, "You will figure it out." Wow. So for a moment, I worried about that, but immediately I thought, this is much better than being in this hell, in this car with killers, blindfolded, and in the same space with them like I've been. So like I immediately thought, there's no more danger I can be in than I have been in.
It can't get any worse.
No, but also at least now I can see I am not surrounded. They are not. So I move ahead, and the woman calls me again. "Agatha, wait." And me, I think maybe they have come to give me some money to get home, or something.
You are
She
really
comes and says, this,
optimistic, aren't you?
yeah. She comes and says, "The sweater, that sweater from that night."
The
And
smelly
it's,
one.
yeah, because they want their sweater. They can't leave you with any evidence.
Oh, they want it back.
Yeah, she came to ask for it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I take it off, I give it to her, and I start walking. No, I start limping.
You have your bag
And
now.
yeah, I have my bag. It was a backpack. I'd gone to Tanzania with just a backpack. So
Okay.
it's not heavy. It's on my back. I have my passport in the pockets. And I start limping. I Now I walk a lot better. But that time,
Mm.
so as I am limping, I didn't know how long it would take me to get to the border. There's a border guy that passes. Now that border guy,
Mm.
I stop him. Now you're just taking another chance. You don't know if this is another criminal, but I knew that my feet wouldn't get me far.
Mm.
So the border guy first goes ahead and then turns and comes back and says, "Where did you come from? How did you get here?" Like,
Meanwhile,
I tell
these
him,
people have driven off.
yeah, they made a U-turn in the middle of the road and went back.
Wow.
So now the border guy comes like maybe 5 minutes after they have driven off, and I've walked
Why
just a
do I
short
think why
distance.
do I why do I think they sent him?
Yeah, it's something I had not thought about, but later,
I think they sent
um,
him.
yeah. So I think so. So the border guy comes, says, "How did you get here?" "Okay, I will help you." I tell him,
Yes.
I,
Probably
I've
one
been
of them.
yeah, yeah, because I think so. I think they had coordinated with someone.
Yeah. Okay.
So the guy says, "Okay, I'll take you." He's Tanzanian also, from how he's speaking English. He doesn't know
Mm.
it. But he says, "Okay, I'll take you. I'll help you." And he puts me on his border and takes me to the Tanzanian side of customs, and he waits for me. I delayed at the Tanzanian side because the guy kept looking at my passport and even asked, "Why did you overstay?" And I'm thinking, how do you overstay in Tanzania? Because at this moment I hadn't seen it in my passport. It's later when he gives me back the passport that I saw on the day we were detained. They had stamped in our passports, "Order of departure within 2 days by your own means." So this was done on the 19th, and now I'm arriving on the 23rd. So I think that's what the guy is talking about. So when they were telling, because they had told people looking for me that they deported me. So they did that to show that they deported me on the 19th, which is Monday evening, when I think they were with us. It's in my passport. The passport I got on the 23rd in the morning, because now this is the morning of Friday.
So meanwhile, this border guy is still waiting and watching what's
Yeah.
happening.
But meanwhile, the border guy was the person I asked what time it was, and he said it was 2:48 in the
AM.
morning. Yeah, a.m. So he waits for me there. He had left his bike somewhere. Then I finished with that one, and he says, "I'm going to take you and show you." I had never been to Mutukula, so he said, "I'm going to take you and show you where the Ugandan side is." And he brings me, and we find an askari that he asks, and the askari is showing me. So the border guy goes back. And I said, oh my God, thank you very much. I wish I could take your number, but I even have no phone. And he says, no, 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 it's okay. It's okay. He asks me, he didn't ask me for any money. In my
He was
mind,
one
I
of them.
said, "Mommy." In my mind, I thought that he's such a nice guy. I kept thinking about him, how nice he is, until a day later when someone, like you've said, points that out. I hadn't thought about it. So yeah, now anyway, the customs side of Uganda, there was no one there. And now because they're the
It's
ones I
3
had thought
a.m.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they're the ones I had thought I'd ask for a phone from. So now I go back to that Askari and I ask him to help me with his phone. And he says, we are not allowed a phone at work. But after the immigration office, there is a police station. So I come and find a police station, the two police officers sleeping, but one wakes up as soon as I enter. So I asked him to help me with his phone and I called someone. And his first skeptical says, how come you don't have a phone? Or where are you coming from? And I tell him I had been kidnapped. I've just been brought back and left somewhere. And he's this skeptic. He said, you see, these are security issues, but he was a good guy. So he gave me the phone, even hesitantly. So I call my sister and I am praying that she picks up. She has poor phone manners. Sometimes you can call and she doesn't pick. Or I thought it would be off. And I was wondering what I would do because I have no other phone number that I can remember offhand. So I called my sister and she picks up and she hears my voice and starts wailing. This is now when the police officer believes me because she's hearing my sister wailing. Oh my God, thank God you're safe. Let someone take you to the hospital, but we are in Lukaya. We are in Lukaya, we are coming. Stay there. And so she just hangs up and
how was she in Lukaya? How did they?
that's what I kept asking myself. How is she in Lukaya? It is 3 a.m. So I sit there and wait. That road to Mutukula is so bad. They got to
Yeah.
me at 6 in the morning. And that was the first question I asked. She was with Hagai Masko and my cousin. How did you guys know I would be here? And they said because they dumped Bonnie near his border, near the border to Kenya. So everyone thought they would also dump you here. So we
Actually,
wanted to be there.
now that you say it, I think that rumor, somebody even posted it on social media and said they'll dump her at Mutukula.
Yeah, yeah. So there was someone who had said that, but she had also got leads from other people, and now that's how
Okay.
the ambassador comes in.
Hmm.
So she remembered everything that I wouldn't have remembered. She remembered that we have a friend who used to be a personal assistant to Mwesige a long time ago, Fred Mwesige, when I think he was MP. And
So this
she
is your
asked
sister.
for, yeah, and she asked for Fred Mwesige's number
Mhm.
and called him. And after she calls him, he promises to help. But now she also remembers that, so Amanyamshega is our uncle. He's married to our aunt. So she also remembers that they were in the bush with Uncle Amanya and she calls him
Mhm.
and tells him. And now Uncle Amanya also calls Fred Mwesige. And the whole time, in fact, the Kenyans were telling me this weekend that that guy is the one they would also get information from. Because I was told he sent his ADCs to every police station in Tanzania. And he would call my sister back and say, I am doing whatever is possible. I have checked here, I have checked here. But at some point, I think he pressed so hard and they said they have been deported. And maybe someone mentioned that they have been deported by road. Because on Monday night, I think Tuesday morning, they lie that we are deported and people wait that we are about to arrive. So now
Oh, so they had indicated that they would deport you at the border in Mutukula.
I think he just inferred,
Oh, okay.
because when he kept pressing and pressing, they said probably she's not in Dar anymore, but you can be sure she's going to be taken back to Uganda. So now he starts to realize that maybe they have,
Well, there's only
but
one way they could do that, because the only border is really essentially Mutukula or Isinjiro if they had done that. But yeah.
and now many people say they can't take her to Sinjo, it is further, so it will be Mutukula.
Mm.
But she has also called many of the security acquaintances, even
Yeah.
the smallest ones, and some guys in ISO had told her that, if she was in Uganda, we would know. Because
Yeah.
there had been a rumor that someone had seen me in an SFC car. And the reason that rumor would be believed is of what has happened to other people that they have picked up in other countries and they end up in detentions here.
Mm.
So they first followed up on that. And yeah, so now,
Mm.
after she doesn't know what to do, she has seen how Boniface is. She has heard Boniface say, he had me being tortured and screaming. And she
So
now
was
fears.
Boniface released before you?
Yeah, because the border to Kenya is nearer.
Okay.
It is 1,480 something kilometers from Dar to Mutukula.
Yeah.
So